I'm here with Rod Thear from Thear Technology Limited at their stand here at BVE North. And Rod, for those who don't know, tell us a bit about Thear Technology Limited, what you're doing here at BVE North.
Well, I think it's a good idea to go from where we started. We started 22 years ago. And in fact, I initially approached companies like Sony Broadcast, and I was a service director of a sales company at the time. And there's a very clear conflict of interest when you try and run service from within a sales organisation. The obvious ones are you might get sold a product that you perhaps don't necessarily need. I'm not suggesting that's done deliberately, but also, you know, quite correctly in a sales operation, the MD's focus is on sales, 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 and understandably service work will get sometimes pushed to one side in preference to getting QC done on a new product. So I went to the manufacturers and explained this, and they took it up and they took it on board. And particularly for the manufacturers, they'll sometimes find their product gets moved or customer gets moved onto a different product. And it's better for the end user to get their existing product serviced rather than necessarily buying a new product. So that's where we started from. And that's where we've carried on from. And as a result of being fully focused on service and service only and not on sales, it makes us very, very aware of what we're doing, what we should be doing. We're very fast as a result of that. If a customer brings a piece of equipment into us, we'll estimate it the same day it comes in or the following day, and we'll typically aim to turn that repair around on smaller cameras like the PMW, EX1s, EX3s, Z1s, etc. in about 3 working days. You know, so if a customer brings a camera in on Monday, we're going to get it shipped back out to them on the Friday. I think that's pretty much all we can say about what we do as an operation. I think, you know, we're a small company. We're very, very flexible. It's another reason for using a small company like us. We get customers, we don't encourage it necessarily, but if they want to drop their camera off at 9 o'clock at night, they can drop it off at 9 o'clock at night and pick it up and we'll take it back. We've not had a single, because of that focus on service, and my background as an engineer as well, is we've not had a single service return genuinely for about 14 or 15 years. And another kind of slightly unique point about us is I spent 12 years as a recording engineer, as an operator, if you like, on the operational side, which included doing live recording with film crews, etc. So there's an immediate empathy goes on there, and people know that we know what they're going through and why they need it back quickly. It's not as though we're not screwdriver men. Sure. We're screwdriver men as well as men who know how to operate the stuff and what's involved in using it. So that's a pretty fair summary of what we do and what we do as a business.
Brilliant, Rod. And so is it limited just to the Sony cameras here? Do you do the bigger Sony cameras? I've noticed you've got some other kit down here.
Well, generally we see lots of cameras because they're what gets broken. You've got journalists going out these days by themselves, they forget they've got the headphones on, walk away, oh dear, cameras on the ground. But we do everything from the little A1Es right up to the SRWs. You see one on the sign there. So we do the whole Gaumont of cameras. You just don't see many of the larger cameras because there's not so many of them out there, you know, and generally they're with professional users who don't knock them off tripods quite so readily. You know, I'm not suggesting that everyone who uses smaller stuff is not professional, but they're more prone to get broken.
So you've mentioned the cameras. Is it purely just cameras that you service?
No, I mean, we started in audio. It was purely professional audio for probably about the first 5 years. I think over the years we've done about 2,500 DAT machines in those days. But we're also contracted by companies like Otari, still do Studios and Revoxes, believe it or not. So we do quite a bit of professional audio stuff, and certainly on the radio microphone side we do all of the radio microphone repairs. Most manufacturer microphones, whether they're ones we're contracted to or not, repair, and we certainly do all the Channel 38 upgrades for Sony's, as well as manufacturers like Sennheiser as well. So we do a Gaumont of professional audio stuff, and to an extent that's another unique selling point about us. My background was in audio. I was a professional recording engineer for 12 years, started at Olympic Studios in Barnes, so worked with everyone you know from that period. So we're not just screwdriver people, we understand how things should sound like, we understand the business. I've worked with film crews in the past, so we know the operational side. And people are very surprised when they get cameras back from us that we've actually bothered to measure the audio. You know, I get customers with digibeaters bring stuff back to us and they say, Christ, I can actually hear, you know, the audio's useful now. So, you know, that's a unique selling point, if you like, for us, you know, so that's it. Yeah.
Rod, that's great. Now, I know that you like people to phone you.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to ask you, instead of what your website is.
I don't want people can email if they want, but if you want something quickly, ring us up. You know, two-way device invented by Mr. Bell all those years ago, instant communication. So if you want it quick, ring us up, we'll deal with it immediately. So our phone number, as you'll probably stick on the bottom of the website, which I'll repeat, is 01525 841 999. And as I've said before, we're a small company, we're very, very flexible. So we're not rigid, we don't shut at 5 or 6 on the dot. You know, if you want to bring something in a bit later, we do it. And we're friendly, we try and we're people. You don't ring us up and get a voicemail, ever. And if we haven't answered the phone after 3 rings, I'm hopping, wondering why, you know, so... You know, that's what you get from a smaller company, which you understandably can't get from a larger company. That's not a criticism of a larger company, it's just a reality.
Rod, that's great. Thank you for letting us know all about Thear Technology Limited. The number is just there on the screen. Ring them if you need any help on any of your kit servicing. All the videos we've been doing here at BV North you'll find on our website, which is broadcastshow.com.